Salvete omnes, ego sum Magister Sullivan. We're back. We're going to talk about Apollo and Daphne, lines 548 to 556. But before we go there, the last time we saw, um, we know that Daphne and Apollo both got hit with arrows. But what we didn't see is that now Apollo chases Daphne through um, the woods, and he pursues her kind of like a hunter pursues a deer, um, a boar, all sorts of other animals. So she reaches out to her father, who's Peneus, who we've seen her reference to before. He is a river god, and she asks for his help. And so he grants her the wish. Um, she asks to be transformed into something, and I think the picture gives it away, but she's going to be transformed into a tree. So here's the translation. So with the prayer barely having been finished. So here's noun, adjective. These are ablatives. With the prayer scarcely or barely having been finished, a heavy slumber seizes her limbs. So this is our object here, her limbs. Right, so this is accusative. And here's our main verb, occupat, right, which is um, a present verb. And this is all present tense to make it more vivid. And so then Molia is soft. Molia quincuntur tenui praecordia libro. So Molia praecordia and tenuid libro. Notice the interlocking word order. And this is a picture that helps us encapsulate the fact that, um, you know, her soft heart is going to be surrounded by a thin bark. All right, so it's going to actually, the words are intertwined as well as what's happening in real life. And this is called synchesis or interlocking word order. All right, so here we have a soft heart, or her soft heart, or soft chest is surrounded by or with a thin bark. Now, libro is the Latin word for book, but here it's bark. Okay, so here's ablatives, and these are subjects, right? Again, notice the color. And here is our main verb, kinguntur, which is a passive verb. Notice the ending, present passive. So now we go back here, and so we have crines. So we're going to have a two-part subject. So this should be in frondem crines crescunt, in ramos brachia crescunt. So her hair grow, or her hairs grow into foliage, and her arms grow into branches. So again, this is called parallel construction. So here we have the prepositional phrase first, followed by the subject and then the verb. Here again, the same structure. That's why it's called parallel. Right here we have our preposition, subject, and verb. Okay, and now here's the continual start of. Um, so here we have her foot, just so swift, or recently so swift. Clings. Here's our main verb, clings. Now this verb needs a dative, right? So here's our dative, right? In pigris radicibus. So clings or sticks to roots, sluggish roots. So once again, so a foot just so swift clings or sticks to a sluggish roots or to sluggish roots. Right. Notice that here we have velox and pigris going together. So we have swift and sluggish. This is a juxtaposition. Right. So juxtaposition is a poetic device whereby two opposites are placed side by side. So another example would be nox in dies, right? Night and dark. But here we have swift and slow. And now her treetop, has a mouth. Right. Here's our object. Right. Here's our subject, going with our verb habit. And here's our subject again. And so one brilliance, one brightness, one spark remains in her, or in that. Right. So in Ela. So here we have Ela, which is that. Right. Which means probably that girl, right? Or nymph. And so now here we have Phoebus. Here's our subject. Phoebus loves this also. Now, in the line, these would be touching, right? Illa and Honk. They are both referencing Daphne. This is Daphne as a girl, and now it's Daphne as a tree. So this further exemplifies or shows her transformation. So just the changing of the words here. And with her right hand having been placed on the bark, right, he, Apollo, is still the subject here. Apollo still, or Apollo feels her heart still trembling under the new wood. So, one thing to note, trepidare is an infinitive, but it's green here because it's used like a direct object or like an accusative. Right. And having embraced her branches as if, or just like her limbs, with his own upper arms. So this poetic device, suis to Lacertes and Ramos to Umbra, is called chiasmus, and it further emphasizes his embracing of Daphne as a tree. There, complexus is a participle, right? Having embraced, so it's going with Apollo. Notice the ending us. And if we go back up to Apollo, which is all the way up here, it matches us. I could actually probably further color this orange. And so Apollo's to the subject. He gives kisses to the wood. So gives kisses the object to the wood. Right. This is a dative ending, and it's also dative because dot usually takes one. Nevertheless, or however, the wood, meaning Daphne, flees back, recoils from the kisses, or flees at the kisses, recoils from, repulses, or shudders at the kisses. Right. So that's it. Just want to again highlight the chiasmus, or the rainbow word pattern here. Again, that emphasizes him embracing her. Um, we have Illa and Hank, which is symbolizing or showing through the word choice the transformation of her being talked of as that girl or that nymph, and now this tree. Right, we have the juxtaposition of Velox and Pigris, which are two opposites placed side by side. We have the parallel word construction here. Here we have synchesis, or interlocking word order, which is the opposite of chiasmus. Right? And again, we can tell, it again shows interlocking or embracing. Right, and here's Daphne transformed into a tree. All right, so that completes these lines 548 to 556. Kurate ut valie tisones. See you tomorrow. Vale.